Okay, King Cold character spotlight today. I'm going to be really short with this intro, but the most important thing is I gotta check your power level. Okay, good. I could tell you went to the gym yesterday because 420,000 power level. Good. Today you gotta hit leg day because, like I said in the spotlight, like I'm going to say in the spotlight, King Cold's legs are insane. He should inspire you to hit leg day. But yeah, quick intro today. I have to get ready to go out with some friends and actually have a life and not play Sparking Zero all day. I gotta fix my hair. My hair is all crazy. I need to get a haircut soon. Yeah, that's basically it. Enjoy the character spotlight. Have a good day, you guys. So, as you guys can see, today we are doing a character spotlight on the King of Cold. And look at his legs. Look at these quads, man. This guy does not skip leg day. With that being said, you guys should go to the gym and do leg day in the name of the King of Cold. Look at these quads. Jeez. How much do you guys think King Cold could squat? I'm gonna say easily maybe 5 planets. Alright, let's get started. You guys know the first thing we do, what do? We check out the resources that he starts with. So, of course, King Cold starts with average resources. He starts with 2 key bars, 0 skill points, and 3 health bars, meaning that at the start of the round or when you switch him in, he is at neither an advantage or a disadvantage. Okay, the next most important thing to do is check out his rush chains. Gut punch first. Good, I love that. Ki second. Usually with Ki's, I like to check if you try to combo them afterwards, if it connects smoothly. King Cold connects quite smoothly with his Ki, so that's good. Right, there are some characters where they push them so far back that it just doesn't really connect smoothly. Gohan is one of those people. You see how far back it pushes him? Oops, that's a little Yeah, and it's quite inconsistent. Sometimes it could just completely knock him away. Like I don't understand what's causing that. So Gohan is quite weird with his Ki, and this is the case for a lot of characters. Not even Gohan's Ki is just terrible sometimes, but it's inconsistent, I should say. But some characters, their Ki just when you try to combo them, you can miss the first hit and drop the combo completely. You could see how Gohan didn't really connect his combo there. King Cold's Ki is pretty good in that it will combo, I believe. Or at least, at the very least, I haven't had many issues when I was using it online. Okay, let's check out his third rush chain. Rolling Hammer. His fourth one, Rolling Hammer as well. Not the best, not the worst either. I really like that his first rush chain is a gut punch. I really like that. And I really like the fact that he does have a Rolling Hammer. I would have liked if he had a gut punch again as his fourth, because sometimes I'd be mashing, and then I'll miss my first opportunity to do a gut punch. And having that fourth hit be a gut punch is really clutch because, like I said, I'd be mashing, and if I miss my opportunity, I would like to have another opportunity. So it would have been great if his fourth hit was a gut punch as opposed to just another Rolling Hammer. But hey, it's still really good. It's still a really good rush chain. That doesn't really hold back King Cold much anyway. Just don't mash. You shouldn't be mashing that hard anyway. Now let's check out his step-in move. He has a gut punch. His combo extender is also a gut punch, so that's really good. We love that. What's his perception? Well, I already know his perception. It is. Oh my gosh, damn. Okay, hit me. Yeah, there you go, gut punch. Oh, okay, I see you, Jiren. Take this. Yeah. Take this. Oh, okay. Now let's check out King Cold's Ki blasts. He has these little mini death beams as Ki blasts that move really quickly. They do take up a lot of Ki, so I wouldn't recommend mindlessly just using this, right? If you're going to try and spam it, you make sure you have a lot of Ki and make sure it actually hits them, right? But it could be good. It could be a good way to close the distance at medium range. Let's say you don't want to Z-burst dash at him. If you just want to come in close towards him, since it moves so quickly, you could close distance really well with his uncharged Ki blasts. Let's see how quickly it reaches him from range. Yeah, most characters, I believe their normal ki blast would disappear from this range. The fact that it still hits him from this range is kind of crazy. Although I think he's being protected by some ledge right now. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's test out the range on this thing. Okay, that still hit him. In the meantime, you could tell that King Cold consumes a lot of ki when he dashes. With one ki bar, you could only dash twice. And then maybe you could dash a third time if you wait a little bit. But you do not want to be doing short dashes willy-nilly. Be careful with that. King Cold is one of those jacked and stacked archetypes where they take a lot of ki from dashing. He has bad cardio. All those leg days did not improve his cardio. He just has giant, massive quads. Okay, let's check out. Yep. And I think a normal ki blast, would it disappear? Yeah, it doesn't hit. Look, it disappears at a certain distance. So that's hilarious. King Cold's ki blasts will hit from a long distance. I wonder if it will disappear at a certain point. Let's check that out. Okay, yeah, it seems like it just won't disappear. Although I'm not at like the farthest distance ever, but I am at quite a far distance, and it is still hitting my opponent. So he has quite the distance on this. You could even use this to set up a Z-burst dash at him, although normal ki blasts are quite easy to just deflect, so I wouldn't really recommend that. Like I said earlier, I do recommend you using it to close the distance from medium range. That way you just slowly approach him and just do this, right? Again, I wouldn't recommend spamming it willy-nilly. Be very careful, because again, his short dashes do take up a lot of ki, and his regular ki blasts take up a lot of ki. Let's check out his charged ki blast. He has an average charged ki blast, so that's nice. I'm going to give you guys an example later of why you should be setting up your Z-burst dashes with a charged ki blast. As always, you should never go in raw, or not go in never, but most times you should be setting up some sort of protection, right? Using raw Z-burst dashes, if you're going to do that, you're probably going to get perceptioned. So if you're going to do a raw Z-burst dash, I recommend you just be passive. You use it just to approach, but if you're going to be aggressive with a raw Z-burst dash, just know it's a risk, right? But if anytime I do a raw Z-burst dash, I usually just sit there, right? Or sometimes I'll even do it and just guard immediately, because most times they will be ready and they will use a perception on you and you're going to get caught. Or they're probably going to use a sonic sway, and then you're going to lose one ki bar from doing a Z-burst dash, and then lose another ki bar because you got sonic swayed. So if you're going to do a raw Z-burst dash, be careful with that. But like I said, set it up with a charged ki blast. It's not that difficult. Well, I say it's not that difficult as I failed to do the inputs right then and there. That's funny. But you can see King Cold's damage is pretty good. 4 DP characters, King Cold is 4 DP, and 4 DP characters tend to be really underrated in my opinion. They're like the perfect in-between, right? They don't cost that much, and they do just enough damage. 3 DP characters are good because they're not very expensive, and they could switch out very quickly. But the thing is that they don't do that much damage, right? And 5 DP characters are a little too expensive, and they take a long time to switch. 4 DP characters are that perfect in between. They could switch out very quickly, and if you get a combo with them, they have the potential to do a lot of damage. So they have that really good in between. But like I always say, you do want to save some space for a character that can transform to at least a 7 DP character. That way they could go through super armor. But since 4 DP characters aren't that expensive, you could afford one 4 DP character that can't transform. King Cold, Lord Slug, Bardock, Turles. Some of these characters are very underrated. Well, Bardock is not underrated. He's quite meta. But Lord Slug, King Cold, Turles are quite underrated in my opinion. So all in all, in terms of his ki, he does run through his ki rather quickly, right? So be very careful with trying to spam certain things like his ki blast, his short dashes. Be careful with that, and not to mention his ki charging isn't the fastest. It's like below average. It isn't very slow, but it's not very fast either. Okay, let's check out his skills. You already know, Explosive Wave. I love Explosive Wave. If you can't get a super counter off, or you're struggling to get a super counter off, and some people like to be like, oh, you just suck if you can't get a super counter off. No, if you're playing DP battle 6 minutes and you run the sets 18 minutes, very rarely will you be able to be extremely consistent with your super counters all the time. There will come a time where you struggle to do a super counter and then you get put in the blender. You know, like I've played against several people where they're crazy at super countering, right? But there are times where I could combo them. I could do a 20k damage combo on them. Wouldn't you love an Explosive Wave in that instance? You'll save a lot of health, and then yeah, and in my opinion, Explosive Wave is a better combo breaker than super counter. The reason being is because it just resets you guys back to neutral. A super counter just forces a Vanish War, and if you don't have enough ki, you're going to lose the Vanish War, and then yeah, a super counter, if anything, half the time or sometimes could really put you in a bad position, because if you end up getting into a Vanish War, you're helping him build skill points, and if you don't have enough ki, you could lose it. You could lose the engagement. But Explosive Wave is a true combo breaker because all it does is set you guys back to neutral. Yes, there could be some opportunities for them to punish you, but there are certain conditions for that. Super counter sometimes could set you up in a bad position. So yeah. A good way to counter Explosive Wave, if you guys didn't know, is they could revenge counter your Explosive Wave and force you to continue engaging with them. And it will give a different animation for a revenge counter. It'll be a much quicker revenge counter. But the positive side is that Explosive Wave does come out very quickly and suddenly, so the chances of them reacting to it are quite slim. I have not really had many people react to my Explosive Wave. The best way to do it is, if you're going up against someone who has Explosive Wave, the best way to do it is just read it, expect it. When you're expecting it, you don't even have to react to it. You can just mash your revenge counter. Like if you're doing a combo and you know he's eventually going to use the Explosive Wave because he's getting low health, and you see he has enough skill points to use the Explosive Wave, be ready to revenge counter his Explosive Wave and continue pressuring him and finish off his character so he can't switch, and then you gain character advantage. His second skill is King's Dignity, which is like a freaking Walmart version of High Tension. So let's read exactly what King's Dignity gives us. Melee attack power, ki blast power, and ki recovery speed increase for 15 seconds. So for 3 skill points, not the greatest buff. You know, it's like a budget High Tension. High Tension for some characters gives 2 ki bars, so it could be worth it for 3 skill points, but this buff, not the greatest. It does have its utility, but like I always say in my videos, I feel like they need to buff the buff moves in some form, because for 3 skill points and knowing other characters could use 3 skill points to gain instant sparking and even greater buffs than this, it's quite lackluster. I would have liked the defensive buff as well on this, maybe even a greater ki charging buff, but it is what it is. It does have its utility. Let's say you use this, right? Well, first let's talk about his supers before I really talk about his utility on the buff. So he has a full power death beam that costs 2 ki bars, which is really, really good, and you could see how it stun locks him. Like any character with a finger beam, it will stun lock your opponent. So if you use it in the sky, they will fall to the ground and they cannot recover, and you could spam your death beam, your finger beam, multiple times, right? So let's say, for example, you're fighting really high up in the sky. Okay, let's imagine you have a full ki gauge, right? And then you get into some sort of engagement. Let's say you do the lip strike combo, and then you death beam him. This will stun lock him, and you could use death beam again, right? I do recommend that you charge a little bit in between so you could use death beam 3 times in a row, but that's usually a thing for a full ki gauge. His second super is a super explosive wave. 8,000 damage is quite mid for a 4 ki bar super, but super explosive wave does have some interesting utility. So let's go back to what I was saying about his skill. So let's imagine you don't have much ki, right? You can use King's Dignity, sit there and charge. You will charge quite quickly, right? If you just sit here and camp out and charge, you could bait your opponent to come Z-Burst dash at you, and if they do that, if you have enough ki, you can just use Super Explosive Wave and catch them in their Z-Burst dash. Which again, I said earlier, I was going to give you guys an example of why you should set up your Z-Burst dashes with a charged Ki Blast, and this is one of the reasons, right? A lot of people will do this. They will try to bait you with a Ki charge, and once they get enough and they see that you're gonna go Z-Burst dash at them because they might charge to sparking mode, yeah, it's best you set up your Z-Burst dash with a charged Ki Blast, because you do not want to get caught by that. And let's say your opponent isn't falling for the bait and they're just standing there, maybe they're charging as well. You can just charge all the way up to sparking mode. And now with that being said, let's check out his ultimate.
More merriment awaits. My clan reigns supreme.
Pretty cool ultimate. 13.8k damage. Not the best. I don't know if it'll be worth going into sparking mode for that kind of damage. Let's see how spammable his Ki Blasts are. Oh yeah, this is very spammable. Oh yeah, we love this. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem like it does a lot of damage. 20 hits for 5k damage? Man, there are... It's not that much. It's not that great. I don't think King Cold is very great in sparking mode. By the way, if you saw the French qualifiers with the one player dashing around with his androids, I probably would have used King Cold and just did a Super Explosive Wave on him. Probably would have used Raccoon, used my ultimate. That is one way that you could really catch the people who dash up and down. But yeah, that's the utility of King's Dignity. You could really use it to bait use it to charge your Ki and bait people in, and then you use Super Explosive Wave. And if they don't fall for the bait, or if they just let you charge all the way up, you could use it to gain a full Ki gauge and use that full Ki gauge to combo him and then stun lock him with a Death Beam. Which, if you have never been caught by the multiple Death Beams that freaking stun lock you, you're lucky. Once you get caught with that, it is very annoying and could do lots and lots of damage. It's quite insane.
Take this.
I feel like that's all there is to talk about, honestly. King Cold is quite a simple character, but a very strong character. I do think he is extremely viable in the meta. If anything, I think he is semi-meta. The thing is that is holding him back is that he doesn't have like extreme cheese, right? He's just a very well-rounded character who does have a cheap super. Unfortunately, it does take him a long time to regain the Ki, and he does consume a lot of Ki. So his 2 Ki bar super could feel like a 3 Ki bar super with how difficult it could be to gain some Ki, and how easy it is that you run through your Ki. Yeah, King Cold is very well-rounded. The only thing that's holding him back from being extremely meta is that he doesn't really have anything extremely cheesy, other than his full power Death Beam that could stun block you over and over and over. That is quite cheesy, but you kind of have to earn that, and if they let you charge to full Ki gauge, they deserve to get stun locked, right? Never ever let your opponent charge to a full Ki gauge, right? And that is why a lot of people, if you sit there and charge, they will dash at you, and you can catch them with a Super Explosive Wave if they forget to set up their Z-Burst dash, which I've been caught by that, you know. As much as I play the game and as much as I tell you guys to always set up your Z-Burst dash with a charged Ki Blast, I've still been caught by the bait, right? Because I'm like, oh no, he's gonna charge the sparking mode, I have to go get him, and then they freaking throw a Super Explosive Wave at me. Like, they'll do this, they'll go in sparking mode or charge to it, make it look like it, and then I dash at them, and then they use a Super Explosive Wave and I get opened up. And it's a pretty smart idea. But yeah, overall, I think King Cold in the meta, he is extremely viable. I would say he's semi-meta. I'm very surprised people don't really use him. He has a lot of good tools. His Ki Blast is really strong. He has a 2 Ki bar super. He has options where he could really bait your opponent. His sparking mode is quite mid. His King's Dignity is quite mid. He doesn't have instant sparking, so those are some of the things that are keeping him from being truly meta. In this game, to be truly like extremely meta, you do need some sort of gimmick that is like kind of cheesy. The cheesiest thing King Cold has is stun like death beam. Imagine if you're in sparking mode and you guys are in the sky and you just stun lock him. And you just continuously spam this. You just use it like 4 times in a row, right? It could be very annoying. It could be very cheesy. But since King Cold doesn't have an instant sparking, you kind of have to earn your way to sparking mode. And if they let you get to sparking mode as King Cold, they deserve to get hit with 4 different death beams. It's insane. But yeah, overall, when I was playing King Cold, I had a ton of fun with King Cold. A lot of fun. He does a good amount of damage, and he could keep himself safe with Explosive Wave. And since he's a 4 DP character, he could switch very often, right? So, yeah, overall, I think King Cold is a really good character. More people should play him. The thing is that a lot of people don't play him because to really take advantage of what King Cold has, you actually have to play the game and not sit back and depend purely on your skills. Man, this game is funny sometimes. But yeah, all in all, King Cold is a quite simple character. He does have some strengths and he does have some weaknesses. So yeah. I still think he's really, really fun to play with, so you guys should definitely go out and play some more King Cold. When I get online tonight, I want to see at least one King Cold player. Anyway, if you guys learned something, like and subscribe. Enjoy my commentary. Have a good day, you guys. Here I am, commentating on my gameplay that I had with King Cold.
Frieza would like all of you Earthlings to be extinct, and I always give my son what he wants.
This guy is Frieza's father? His energy is like nothing I've ever felt.
Like I said, I had a lot of fun playing with King Cold, so you guys should definitely play with him. He's a good character.
Mere child's play.
I feel like I don't really have much to say in this commentary. It's just gonna be me straight up throwing hands at the guy. You can see how large King Cold is in comparison to Gohan. But at the same time, they made Teen Gohan look like more of a kid than a teenager in this game. If you look at the old games, he looks like an actual teenager. He looks like a 12-year-old. He looks really small and young in this game. But you can see the utility of Explosive Wave there. Like, it gets me out so safely. And I don't remember this gameplay. Maybe I don't even play King Cold that much at all after this. But the fact that King Cold could really switch out safely whenever you want, right? That is extremely useful. And I think I switched out with 2 skill points, so I'll come in with another free Explosive Wave. And since he's a 4 DP character, I could switch very soon. So I can make sure I'm safe almost all the time. I could really preserve King Cold really well. Manage his health very easily with Explosive Wave. Not to mention King Cold is quite the tanky character. I'm gonna rant a little bit. So I've gotten a comment from someone that was like, oh, stop playing Jace, he's such a whack character. Play some actual cool characters. And it's just like, you're a full-grown man talking about cool characters. I don't care. I'll play whoever I want. It doesn't. I think every character in Dragon Ball is cool. Like people. I don't know. People in the community complain about everything and anything. It's like they go, oh, you're playing that character, and then they'll go to singles battle, play the cool characters like Gogeta, MUI, Goku, and then be like, oh, everyone plays these all the same characters. They just play the strong characters. Well, those are the cool characters. Well, you want people to play the lame characters, the quote-unquote lame characters in singles, but then when you get to DP battle and you see all the variety of the quote-unquote lame characters, then now it's an issue. I don't understand it. At the end of the day, just play whoever you want to play. That was a crazy rant. I'm sorry. But yeah, I will say the complaints of, oh, nobody plays characters that they actually want to play. Like, who cares? I don't care. I really don't care about the characters that people choose. Like, you can choose the cheesiest characters. I literally could not care less. Like, it could be a cheesy character. To me, I just take it as a challenge. Like, it's really whatever to me. Bojack's throw is so cool. This is making up for my last video. Some people were like, oh, Bojack was getting destroyed in your last video and you said he's so fun to play with. He is still fun to play with, regardless of whether or not he did well in a singular game. But you can see how, like, look at King Cold's health. He's back at full health because Explosive Wave keeps saving me and I'm able to preserve him very well. And since not many people use Explosive Wave, people don't know how to counter Explosive Wave. You could just revenge counter it, but this guy's not going to revenge counter it because he clearly wants to use instant sparking. People save their skill points way too often for things like instant sparking. If they use their skill points more for like super perception or revenge countering, they'd have a much better time. Like instant sparking could be useful, but like you could still do a lot of damage without using instant sparking or your ultimate. Like, I'm a perfect example of that. But Jace has an Explosive Wave as well, and look at his health. Like, Explosive Wave just makes you preserve your characters really easily, especially against people who do not want to use a revenge counter. Explosive Wave is like the anti-instant sparking user. Anti-instant sparking skill, because it will counter people who want to save their skill points. And even if they do manage to get instant sparking off, you can just use Explosive Wave whenever they try to stuff your face with Ki Blasts. And then you use Explosive Wave and then you dash up and down, stall out their sparking mode. But look at this damage King Cold is doing. This is what I mean, the 4 DP characters are so underrated. They could switch out very quickly and they do a good amount of damage. So they're like the perfect in-between, like I keep saying. This guy's letting me put him in the blender with King Cold. Look at this. He has key advantage. Yep, I use a revenge counter to continue engaging. That way he can't switch. Look, he wants to back away and switch so badly. Let's see if I finish him. Do I finish him? Aw, he got it off. But he's probably not going to bring in his Raccoon. If he brings in his Raccoon again, his Raccoon is finished. Like, getting someone to red health in DP battle is just as good as finishing them, because they're not going to bring that character in again. If they do, they're going to lose that character, and they're going to lose character advantage because of that. Look at me, I'm shaking my head because this guy was just backing away the entire game. I didn't really understand why he was backing away the entire game. "35 win streak." This is when I was on my way to my 51 win streak. And throughout my 51 win streak, I was doing character spotlights, so I wasn't even using my main team. But at this point, like I said in my previous video, I've played so many different characters and I like so many different characters now that it feels like I don't even have a main team.
His energy is like nothing I've ever felt.
But yeah, that first match was really fun to play with King Cold. And look at how much damage he's doing, 11,000 damage. in my previous videos, like my older videos, maybe like a week or two ago, I'd be using the low DP characters, and I have to constantly reset them to do a lot of damage. Look, King Cold has Gohan in near red health in just 2 simple combos. The 4 DP characters are super underrated. And he could combo me here if he wants. I have 2 skill points now. I have Explosive Wave, and I'm gonna switch out. Exactly, yup. And King Cold is gonna be full health. He took so much away from his team already. And King Cold is gonna be full health now. Like I said in my previous video, I always challenge the Vanish War even if I'm going to lose due to key disadvantage. Might as well, because I'm going to be farming skill points. I could transform a Bojack here now. That's exactly what I do. I wouldn't have had that skill points if I didn't challenge the Vanish War. So farming skill points through Vanish Wars are important. You shouldn't just give up all your Vanish Wars. Not to mention that your opponent could mess up and mistime their Vanishes, and then you'll win the Vanish War simply because they messed up. So I'd say like 80% of the time I challenge the Vanish War all the time. I usually don't do it if I'm at full skill gauge and he doesn't have much skill gauge. I don't want him to farm. What the hell? That was a weird glitch. But if I see he's trying to farm skill points, I won't challenge it. So it's not a matter of whether or not I'm going to lose the Vanish War. It's more about whether or not he's going to be farming skill points or whether or not I need to farm skill points. I don't know why I'm attacking him when he has after image strike up. But you can notice in my gameplays, I'm not scared to use my skill points. If I need to use a super perception, I will use it. I do not save my skill points. You gather skill points so quickly in this game that you will get what you need, right? So if you need to use a super perception, use it. That's what a lot of A rankers and S rankers, even Z rankers make a mistake of. They save their skill points for and then for what? Like super perception. If you get a super perception off, it saved you from something, right? It saved you from something. Use your super perceptions. Do not save your skill points. Stop saving your skill points. This guy could have stopped my combo here if he used the super perception. He has 5 super perceptions. And even if he wanted to save for instant sparking, at this point he could use 3 super perceptions and still have his instant sparking. Yep, he could have used super perception right there, but he doesn't. And this is what holds back so many S rankers and Z rankers from beating me, is because they don't use their super perception. But look at this, King Cold, full health. It's insane how easy it is to preserve King Cold. Yet he's not a meta character. I said in the spotlight that he's semi-meta simply because he doesn't really have much gimmicks or cheese, but I would say he's a meta character if you know how to play the game, if you don't completely depend on sparking mode and all that funny stuff. I try to use my ultimate, but I think he vanishes this. Yeah. Oh no, this is canon. Oh no, Gohan's gonna destroy Bojack. Oh no.
Over here! Gotcha! Parry!
Not much to say here. I basically won the game with the amount of damage King Cold did. I have key advantage here. I don't even know what Jay says when he comes in. Does he say got a Namek in my town? Okay, he hits me with that ultimate. I'm going to be able to switch anyway. And this is why I say instant sparking is, especially in DP battle, it's not as useful as it is in singles, right? So you spent all that time saving 3 skill points when you could have been saving your health with super perceptions. And then you get your ultimate off for me to switch out anyway, because you're going to spend all your ki. You don't have enough ki to follow up against me. I'm going to switch out. So you ended up taking up a lot of damage, and then you use instant sparking to use your ultimate that doesn't even guarantee that you do damage, because I probably could have vanished that if I wanted to. Well, I probably did try to. I mean, what I'm saying is that there's no guarantee that you do damage with your instant sparking. So it's best that you play defensively, and then when you do manage to save 3 skill points because you didn't need to use your super perceptions, then that's when you could go instant sparking. But just saving your skill points purely for instant sparking, I don't think is very good. I think I'm trolling him at this point.
I am the Mr. Satan. You're still just a novice.
Or he's trolling me. I don't know why I was just dashing around like that earlier. I think I was just having fun being a little silly goose. But that's usually what I do with Mr. Satan anyway. When I bring in Mr. Satan, I just dash around, because he could die in one combo. No, it's really not a good idea to try to fight with Mr. Satan. This is such a silly fight right here. Yep, that's GG.
Creature. You're no threat to my sovereignty.
I see my clip is about to end. That means he probably did not accept the rematch. And there's my 36 win streak. Yep, he declines the rematch. King Cold basically carried those 2 games, so King Cold is really good. I don't see why people don't play him. Well, people probably don't play him because they just want to sit back and use instant sparking, right? If you knew actual combos and knew how to open up your opponent, then I think King Cold is really, really good.
Did you come here to take care of the annoying Saiyans?
Here's another game. This was recorded like maybe last week, so I don't remember what goes on during these games. So this is basically a live reaction from me.
This is mere child's play.
Look at this damage. I forced him to use his ulti. Oh man, I got opened up. That's not the greatest. He does not challenge the Vanish War. There are some people that are like, oh, these are S ranks and they're not vanishing. It's just like, okay, you think everyone's a perfect player. No, not everyone's a perfect player. Even I mess up, right? So, I don't know. People like to compare my gameplays to their B rank gameplay, and they're like, oh, my B ranks are more consistent than your S rankers. The people you go up against aren't that good. I don't know. Are they like are you guys like implying? Well, not you guys, but are those people implying that like I'm doing what like in the COD community they use a VPN to get bad players and their gameplay looks better? I've went up against many B ranks. I will tell you now, just because they super counter or are winning their Vanish Wars, that is not enough to be good at the game or be good at DP battle. There's way more to this game than Vanish Wars and super counters.
Impudent worm.
Very upset by this.
I feel like I rant about that every single video. I'm sorry, guys. I promise I'll stop.
You're
eventually. Or maybe I won't ever stop. It's gonna be something I mention in every single video. Mr. Satan. And yeah, I just dashed around with Satan. Oh no. He wants to finish my Mr. Satan. Yeah, the thing about Mr. Satan is that he could be good at stalling because you could switch him out after 5 seconds, and he comes in with a full key gauge and he has false courage, so they really have to so Mr. Satan has super armor basically and a full key gauge, so there's no excuse to why you lose him unless you got opened up or you made a mistake. But yeah, if you use Mr. Satan because your team is 14 DP and you just need that one extra character, Mr. Satan could have utility. He could come in and stall out, buy some time, maybe get off a present bomb, and then just switch out. So he does have his utility. I actually recorded a spotlight video for Mr. Satan, so I'm going to upload that soon, maybe during Thanksgiving weekend. It was quite the funny video. But of course, when I do upload the spotlight video, it's not like I'm gonna be able to down any characters with Mr. Satan. It was just me dash. I put Mr. Satan on point and then I just dashed around until I could switch out. That's basically all he could do, honestly. But this guy seems to have a instant sparking team. That finishes Dragon Ball Super Broly. He brings in Bardock, I bring in my Bojack. He tries to go sparking mode. He uses a raw super. Let's see if I hit him here. No, I do not. You know what would be cool? If they showed King Cold in his first form, or if he has any other forms. That would be really cool. But this team of King Cold, Bojack, is really good because their survivability is insane. If you replaced Jace with like Raccoon, that would be an insanely annoying team. Probably get a bunch of rage quits and then people call you cheesy. But look at me, I deal with Raccoon pretty easily. Raccoon just has a lot of health, but when you use like a higher DP character on him, Raccoon is like, he's nothing. But Raccoon is still, that's not to say Raccoon is not good. He's still good and he still is meta. But he's not as cheesy as like Weelo or like Broly. I would say Raccoon is really strong because he has false courage, which a lot of people do not take advantage of Raccoon's false courage, and I do not know why. Like, Raccoon is not the best in sparking mode, but everyone saves up for his instant spark, and when in reality, they should really be spamming false courage. So that's for you guys. If you guys are a Raccoon user, which Raccoon is one of the most used characters, take advantage of his false courage more often. Dude, Raccoon with super armor is insane. Why wait for 3 skill points to go instant sparking, and like most of the time you can't even use your ulti because it's not that good. It's best if you just use false courage. Way better, you'll get more damage off of that. But I guess a lot of people don't know how to do combos. This was honestly kind of a boring game, I'm sorry. I didn't know. I just saw I had King Cold in this game and I was like, okay, this is probably not that bad. Chaozu. Chaozu has a finger beam too, and he could stun lock you, and he charges really quickly. That's GG right there.
Full power. You're really
Look how jacked Bojack is. Gosh. Well, anyway, that's it for the video. Really, I feel like this commentary was a little lackluster. It was just me ranting a good amount, so I'm sorry for that if you guys aren't really into rants. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be Thanksgiving, so happy early Thanksgiving. I really appreciate all the love and support you guys give me. Have a good day, you guys.